Yeah, so it's around 8:25 p.m. on Friday, August 11th. I just made a video about how there was a psychotic stalker sitting directly behind this wall throughout the afternoon today. And as soon as I sat down in this chair and started making a video with this phone, she started getting all agitated, as she often does, based on what she can see me and hear me doing in the privacy of this unit, because she's the one who places surveillance devices in here and uses them to live stream my personal activities to all the sex offenders. She started making blowing a very intense burst of her usual stink mixture of cigar smoke, marijuana fumes, and burning rubber, and was blasting those through this wall from the bathroom of her old vacant unit, which, she got moved out of a few months ago, but continues to access evidently when the maintenance manager, who was supposed to be staying there during the week, is not there. So I was a little tense when I made that video a little while ago, because it is extremely just sickening to have a homicidal psychopath / sex offender / cyber criminal literally stalking you every minute of every day. I don't know if she's so mentally disturbed that she latches on to other people who she perceives as having more going on than she does and then refuses to leave them alone, or if she's actually getting paid to stalk and harass certain individuals 24/7. I know that the landlord, being from a third world country where highly illegal tactics, such as the one that I'm describing right now, seem to be perfectly legal. They don't have any problem with using criminal operatives and thugs and lowlifes to do their dirty work for them against tenants that they don't want to rent to anymore. So, the fact that there is a constant presence directly behind this wall, which is, again, the bathroom of the empty former unit of a known homicidal psychopath, psychotic stalker, sex offender, and prolific cybercriminal, it just makes you scratch your head and say, well, that's not an accident. Somebody is deciding that this is okay. Anyway, I'm not making this video to talk about that. I'm making this video to talk about my twin flame. I have two twin flames, as far as I know. I've met both of them. They are identical to each other, and they are probably two of the most unbelievable men you could ever hope to come across. I worked with one of them for a year. Same department, same everything, same corner of the same store. We both worked in the same store, and he was a manager, and I was trying to be a manager, and he was just mind-blowing. And then 2 years later, his identical twin showed up, and they were so identical that I thought that the second guy was actually the first guy. I was working at a different store at that point and had moved on from twin flame number one, but twin flame number two showed up, and he was identical to twin flame number one, but even more twin flame number one, if that makes any sense. What blew my mind is that they're not related and they don't even know each other, but they looked completely identical to each other and were so similar that I really couldn't tell them apart. And I was like, yeah, twin flame number one, twin flame number two. Like, what do you know? Well, I had to let go of twin flame number two. He was engaged, not married when I met him, but he was engaged. And you just, you can't mess with what people already have going on in their lives. So I let him go. But the connection has always been there. When you have a divine connection with someone, especially a twin flame, a twin flame is like unparalleled. It is the most unbelievable connection you will ever have with anyone. I'm assuming it's even more intense than the connection that a parent has with a child, because you're not romantically involved with your child, I hope, but you are romantically involved on a certain level with your twin flame, even if you're not in a relationship with each other. It is just such a connection that, it might as well be a romantic relationship, even if it's not actually a physical romantic relationship. So I let him go like years ago. I was like, all right, good for him. Bless him. I hope it all works out. I really have no problem letting people go. I'm not one of these psychotic people who stalk their exes for years, for years and years, and can't let them go and keep thinking about them and, wonder what to do to get them back and all that stuff. No, if you do that kind of thing, you're just a pathetic, sad idiot, really. So I'm not a pathetic, sad idiot. If people want to move on from me, that's fine. That's good for them. You know, I hope you find something better. Like, bless you. If it's not right, you have to move on. So I bless people who don't want to be with me anymore. That's good for them. Like, if it's not right for them, it's not right for me. And I have enough self-respect to move on as well. I'm not going to be a sad, weepy, psychotic idiot moping around because somebody walked away from me. So when twin flame number 2 decided to, go be with his fiance, that was okay. But I have to say this, the connection never went away and it has come back. Go figure, because just a few days ago, I made a video about another divine connection that I currently have with somebody who is married, but I'm not going to get involved with while he's married, who is not a twin flame, but who is pretty close. I mean, all of these men with whom I have divine connections, they all look exactly alike. They all act exactly alike. They're all cut from the same fabric. They're all kind of the same ball of wax. They're all incredibly brilliant, super successful, highly motivated, highly intelligent, absolutely beautiful men. And the degrees of difference between them are what determine whether they are a twin flame or not a twin flame. And the two that I just mentioned were so identical to each other that they were both my twin flames. And the twin flame is basically you in another body. That's what a twin flame is. So the divine connection that I was talking about earlier this week, with whom I have sort of a loose business connection with, and there's some political differences in that connection. So I'm on one side of the political divide. He's on the other side of the political divide. That is not a twin flame connection. And that one kind of comes and goes. But the twin flame connection is always there. It just never goes away. And after 8 years, twin flame number 2 has suddenly just shown back up into the picture. And he is just one of those mind-blowing individuals that just, when you're in their presence, you're like, oh my God, like that is a divine being. That is one of God's most magnificent creatures. And holy Jesus, like, how did this guy even manage to be born like this? They are so perfect and so unbelievable and so beautiful and just so divine that all you can do is just stand there and just, with like your mouth open going, holy cow, like how does anybody this divine exist on this planet? And that's twin flame number 2. I'm hoping that he's happily married. I'm hoping that he is, hopefully he had like 10 kids, because he's so perfect that people like him should have 10 kids. Actually, he should have like 100. So I'm hoping that he and his wife are having litters of kids, because he is so magnificent and so beautiful. He should have 100 kids. I mean, those are the people who should be, having kids. Not the sex offenders in my building who are a bunch of psychotic scumbags. I hope that they've been neutered or something. Anyway, so twin flame number 2 is around. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to, again, let it ride. I'm not going to interfere with whatever it is he's got going on physically. But these connections just sort of pop up. They go away and they pop up again, and it has nothing to do with you or anything you're doing. I mean, I mind my own business. I keep to myself. I focus on what makes me happy. I spent the entire day today sending emails, making phone calls, trying to attend Zoom meetings, contacting my friends, doing some cleaning and organizing, and now I'm enjoying my dinner and watching some movies. So I'm perfectly content with that. But if one of the most magnificent beings I've ever come across suddenly decides to pop back up in my sphere of existence, I'm not going to be upset about it. And I'm not. This is great.